Hello, I'm glad you've joined us for WVU's Energy Express. I'm Joel Brown and I'll be your host for the next few weeks. We're going to go on an adventure. We're going to read lots of stories and great books. We're going to go in the kitchen and cook. We'll go outside and explore frogs and leaves and how things grow. We're going to build a balloon car and a helicopter and even learn the chicken dance. So get ready, get comfy, and let's go.
I'm just gonna put him in my head.
You're just gonna put a lobster on your head? Oh, I mean, a lobster. So Ronan, we're gonna read a book for the boys and girls that are joining us from our virtual Energy Express this morning. When we go to Grandma and Papa's house, what's your favorite dessert? Apple pie. It's a good one, isn't it? And what does Grandma usually serve with dessert?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay, so this is a book about ice cream and animals. It's called Gorilla Loves Vanilla by Che Strathy and Nicola O'Byrne. If you take a walk down Jelly Bean Street, there's a wonderful place you can go for a treat. A fabulous store full of yummy ice cream, the kind of ice cream that makes everybody beam. Look at Jelly Bean Street. All the buildings look like desserts, don't they? Little Sam Sundae is known as the king of cones and wafers and flavors that zing. And on one sunny day, as Sam opened the store, 5 hungry animals dashed through the door. Well, look at his friends there. Got the chicken and the cat and the cow and the hippo. First in line was a mouse who squeaked, "Please, may I have a sundae of blue cheese?" Now that might sound scrumptious to a little gray mouse, but none of the others thought that cheese ice cream was nice. It sounded quite stinky, but Sam didn't blink. He rustled up a cheesy ice cream in a wink. Look at all the cheese behind Sam and the little mouse at the bar stool looking for his ice cream. That's a really big glass for a mouse, isn't it? Next to step up was a sea captain's cat with whiskery cheeks and a white sailor hat. "My favorite," he said, "is a sailing cat's wish. Bring me fish finger ice cream in a dish." Fish finger ice cream. Would you eat fish finger ice cream?
If I had to, yeah.
If you had to. It sounded quite yucky, but Sam didn't blink. He rustled up fishy ice cream in a wink. Look at the fish sticks there, and the little mouse is eating her cheesy ice cream. And there's sardines over here and fish oil. Ooh. Not a yummy ice cream, huh? Your lobster might be a part of that fishy ice cream. The chicken said, "I'll have a cone full of worms. I like nothing more than an ice cream that squirms. It's funny the way it wriggles and jiggles. It tickles my beak and it gives me the giggles." It sounded too squirmy, but Sam didn't think. He rustled wormy ice cream up in a wink. Ugh, look at all those worms in a cone.
You're dripping off with a cone.
Yeah, I guess if you're a chicken, it would make sense. Little chicken, how'd the chicken get up on that seat? Huh.
I don't know.
Me either.
It's too big. Maybe flied. Maybe flap his wings.
The flavor the cow chose was daisies and grass, sprinkled with dandelions in a tall glass. "It's simply amusing," she gleefully cheered, but all of her friends thought her flavor was weird. It sounded revolting, but Sam didn't blink. He rustled daisy ice cream up in a wink. Look at that glass. It's full of daisies and dandelion greens.
I would never eat that.
Yeah, because you don't like vegetables.
I do like broccoli.
True.
I like broccoli.
The hippo stomped and thumped up whoop with a thud and asked for a cone filled with mountains of mud. "I don't want to eat it," he said with a laugh. "I'm going to jump in it and have a nice bath." It sounded quite messy, but Sam didn't blink. He rustled muddy ice cream up in a wink. Look at the hippo.
Ice cream.
Where did Sam get all of that mud? In an ice cream shop. Huh.
I don't know. He's gonna flood his ice cream shop.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know.
The animals sang, "Little Sam, you're the best! You've managed to rustle up every request." Then came a voice, "What about mine?" A gorilla was there at the end of the line. "I don't want fish fingers or worms as a filler. Just give me a cone of good old vanilla." The others agreed that they'd been quite hasty. None of their flavors seemed nearly as tasty. Look at the gorilla. He looks quite happy. I love he's got a little bowler hat on.
He's got a green tie.
Oh, here's a big page for us. Sam scooped up a cone that was everyone's dream. Scoop upon scoop of amazing ice cream. He topped it with sprinkles and milk chocolate chips, then sticky fudge sauce made them lick their lips. The animals gasped, they couldn't help staring, and luckily for them, look at that mountain of ice cream. You want the mountain of ice cream? And lucky for them, gorillas love sharing.
If he didn't like sharing, he would just eat it all.
I know. But he's nice that he's sharing with his friends. The end.
And then the mountain is gone.
Yeah. Did you like that book? What do you say if we try to make some ice cream just like Sam did?
Yes.
You want to make some ice cream?
I don't know if we're gonna make is the biggest mountain.
No, I doubt it. But we'll be back in one moment and we're gonna show you all how to make some ice cream.
It's cool. I wanna eat it.
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Why are you looking down? Ronan, do you want to make some ice cream?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the ingredients and everyone can make this at home. So we have half and half. You can use whole milk or heavy cream. Half and half works best. We have 3 tablespoons of sugar. And then we have 1/3 of a cup of salt. The salt is for adding to our ice, which is gonna help make the ice cream and help freeze it. It's not for the ice cream. And then you can add flavorings. Today we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla because Gorilla loves vanilla. And then we're gonna get our arm workout and do that. Are you ready? Will you hold this bag open for me? Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is measure out a cup of our half and half. Ooh. Perfect. So then what we're gonna do, good job. I'm just gonna pour that in. Nice. And then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. So you wanna count with me? 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon, which is smaller, or 1 teaspoon rather, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon of vanilla. Look at that thick vanilla paste coming out. If I can get it out, we may just have to You smell it?
Smells good.
Smells good.
Smells like vanilla.
It does smell like vanilla. So then what we're gonna do
It
is...
smells like vanilla ice cream. It does.
It does. We're gonna just squeeze a little bit of the air out, and then we're gonna make Uncle Joel's too. Ready? You wanna help me again? Will you hold my bag? Thank you, sir. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I already have milk in your bag.
Oh no, that's okay.
Splashed milk.
A little bit of the splash. We're not gonna get upset over splashed milk. Another cup there. And how many tablespoons of sugar was it?
3.
3, thank you. So 1. How many is that?
2.
3. And then, since it came out so thick, we're just gonna go bloop, 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 bloop. Come on. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, extra vanilla on Uncle Joel's. And then we're gonna get a little bit of this.
I want to have extra.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. So then we'll put this back here and put this here. And now for the magic. So we're gonna open up a gallon zip top bag. So this is a quart zip top bag and this is a gallon. And we're gonna make sure that our zip top bags are fully sealed. just to make sure nothing leaks out. And then we're gonna start loading in some ice. And you want to cover the bag in ice. You don't want to fill the entire bag up because you still want to be able to have everything shake, 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 shake. It's a nice big clump of ice, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ah,
Oh,
ice everywhere.
ice everywhere. Iceberg. Right ahead. And then we're gonna add 1/3 of a cup of salt. And this is the magic ingredient. And then we're gonna seal this off. And Ronan, you've got your gloves on. And now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna shake this. Okay? So just keep shaking it. Shake, shake, shake. Keep going. And Uncle Joel's gonna do the exact same to his right here. Ooh. Lobby might drink the milk jar. Our baby lobster is gonna get into the milk container. Great. So there's my ice, and then I'm gonna add my 1/3 of a cup of salt. And seal this up. And we're gonna shake, and we'll see you in 8 to 10 minutes.
So since we're shaking, let's talk about the science behind ice cream. So ice cream is made of 5 basic components: air, sweeteners, fat, ice crystals, and then other solids like mix-ins. Typically, air makes up 30 to 50% of ice cream's total volume. Air prevents an overly sweet flavor while creating the structure of the ice cream. The better the structure is, the more time it will take for the flavor molecules in the ice cream to be released, making the flavor last long enough and be more potent. The sweetener is also crucial to an ice cream's flavor quality because cold food tends to numb your taste buds, so makes them less sensitive to flavors. To address this, more flavorings must be added. So basically, we have to add more concentration of flavor base, i.e. vanilla, and the sugar to make sure that you taste that vanilla. The texture of the body of the ice cream is also provided by sugar. When you lower its freezing point, so when you freeze the ice cream, that you aren't left with like a crystally texture, sugar helps that because when you're shaking, you're trying to create small crystals of ice. The salt lowers the temperature of the ice while it's melting, supercooling it. So while we shake it, that vigorous attention and movement is going to cause small crystals of ice, causing a smoother, creamier ice cream. And that's just a little bit of the science that goes into making ice cream.
We're ready. Okay, let's bring yours up here.
I did a little extra mixing.
Did you? Okay. This went a little quicker, but everything got nice and cold. So we have 2 ice cream dishes. Here, come here in the middle.
Whoa,
Let me
mine
move
has
this.
a lot.
Yours does. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and just get rid of this for now.
Mine has more than yours.
It does. So then what we're gonna do is squeeze the ice cream down. Oh, wow, you've got some really good ice cream. And then
My arm hurts.
it hurts.
Yes.
You're working your muscles. So we're just gonna go ahead and
The
take.
ice frozen.
It did. So we're gonna go ahead and take
Hurts.
our ice cream here. And we have an ice cream scoop. Just like the book Gorilla Loves Vanilla, Sam, he scooped out the ice cream. I get to play Sam. And I thought maybe you would play the chicken in the book. Do you want to be the chicken?
I do not want to eat worm ice cream.
Well, we have gummy worms. You love gummy worms. You do love gummy worms. So we'll put some gummy worms on here. And how about some marshmallows? Marshmallows? There you go. Why don't you try the vanilla ice cream and let me know how it tastes. Woo, I even worked up a little bit of a sweat. Is it really good? It's really tasty. So this is an activity you can do at home with your family, and it's a fun kitchen experiment, and there's lots of information and tutorials online if you go to YouTube, and you can find out how to make ice cream, or you can just use the same proportions we did today, which was a cup of half and half, 3 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and then a bag full of ice with 1/3 of a cup of salt in it. And that was just regular kosher or table salt. You can also get ice cream salt. And then I think I am gonna put some sprinkles on mine.
Wow. Sprinkles.
And, you know, everything's better with a fancy napkin. Enjoy your ice cream, Ronan. Enjoy your ice cream. And thanks for joining us today. Have a good one. It is really good. It's ice cream.
Ice cream has got to be one of my favorite treats. But even though I always loved ice cream, I never really appreciated all of the engineering that goes into it. Until now. I visited 2 of my favorite ice cream shops to learn about the processes they use to make ice cream. It turns out they've engineered 2 very different processes for making ice cream. Luckily for me, both are equally delicious. Would you say that the process that you use to make ice cream is a technology?
Yes, because for the most part, ice cream doesn't exist naturally.
Vincent is an ice cream maker, and as a result, a process engineer. In his own shop, JP Licks, he's perfected the process, or the steps, used to make ice cream.
Ice cream naturally would tend to be a milky, sweet ice cube, rather than this lickable, chewable, frozen dessert that has all these little air bubbles in there that no one thinks about, and all these fine little crystals that no one thinks about that makes it creamy rather than an ice cube.
Will you show me the technology you use to make your ice cream?
No.
Oh, we were so close.
Okay, I know, but
Please?
no, we don't talk. Okay, yes.
Oh,
All right,
yes.
Okay.
Vincent's goal was to make great ice cream. To develop the process for creating it, Vincent used the engineering design process, which is a series of steps engineers use to solve problems. He investigated ice cream recipes and the steps other people have used before. Then, he imagined how he might design his own. We went back to where the action happens, the kitchen filled with ingredients, tools, and giant silver ice cream machines called batch freezers. I asked Vincent's team member, Donald, how the machines worked.
Inside you have a beater assembly, and you have blades on it. These blades, just like you'd have an ice cream freezer at home, scrape the sides of it as the sides freeze. This is the jacket, which is a cold jacket, which freezes it. Instead of salt and ice, we've gone to refrigeration.
So the ice cream is all in there being mixed up and sort of chopped by these blades as it's freezing?
What it does is put a little bit of air into the ice cream so it's not a solid block of sweetened cream. As it hits the side of the container, it will knock crystals smaller and smaller down until they're small crystals which you can't taste on your tongue.
Vincent and Donald planned, created, and tested their own process for combining ice cream ingredients. We took a look at their strawberry ice cream.
First, we'll put the ice cream mix in the machine.
It's cream, milk, sugar, corn syrup, milk solids, which is pretty much like skim milk powder. That's about it.
Now, what does the base taste like?
I'll give you a sample if you'd like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure.
It's very thick.
Yeah.
Next, we added the strawberries, but not before Dawn blended them up.
We don't want big pieces of strawberry in the ice cream for people to find and make it a less pleasurable experience.
Because these strawberries would turn into just sort of icy strawberry cubes.
Yeah.
And so we want to blend them all up, I guess?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Puree them?
Puree them.
All right.
And to pour the strawberries into the machine and start it.
Next, they poured in the stabilizer, which helps reduce ice crystals and creates a smooth texture. And then they added a mix of strawberry extract and citric acid.
I'm introducing now the citric acid, now that it's pretty much frozen.
So is that citric acid like lemon juice?
Yes.
Or so would that be sour?
Yeah, it is quite sour.
It's sour.
Oh, quite sour. It's 50-50 citric acid and water.
So you're putting a souring ingredient into a sweet ice cream?
It's a tartness.
Tartness.
You know, it's basically give it a little more tartness than the strawberries have, and to take the edge off the sweet cream. So.
Have you always added the citric acid?
Citric, no. It's been over the years.
So even though you've been in business for 30 years, more than 30 years, you're still improving the process.
Yeah.
Vincent and Donald are still improving upon the old-fashioned, tried-and-true process of making ice cream, even when it comes to experimenting with new flavors.
Was there ever an ice cream flavor that you were sure was going to be really good and then turned out to be terrible?
Coffee and donuts, ice cream.
Coffee and donuts. Sounds
Coffee
great.
and donuts, sounds good, okay. I researched which donuts held up the best in ice cream, how strong to make the coffee part of the ice cream. My first customer just so happened to be a policeman, and I proudly said, I got a flavor you gotta try. And he takes a mouthful of it and he goes, why? And I go, why? I go, because coffee goes good with donuts. He goes, but in an ice cream? It's disgusting. You know, and most people's reactions were either neutral or strongly negative. And then we tried it 10 years later, and I thought, time will come for this flavor, you know? And same thing again, total failure. So now that we're talking about it, thank you. It's about time we tried again.
To his credit, some of the wild and new flavors Vincent has created, like spicy hot sauce ice cream, have gone on to win awards. Speaking of wild and new, I wondered if any other totally different processes for making ice cream had been created. Indeed, there had.
I've eaten ice cream my entire life. I love ice cream, you know. And when I first tasted liquid nitrogen ice cream, like it was something that was so different. It was really really impactful to me.
Ash and his team run this shop called Churn 2 and use liquid nitrogen to make their ice cream. Liquid nitrogen is a liquid that can transfer very cold temperatures very quickly.
How did you develop your process for making ice cream?
In the very beginning, you know, we made a few batches that were kind of gross, you know, and we were kind of like scratching our heads and like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, you know. And eventually we kind of just started fine-tuning, tweaking, adjusting. One of the things that helped us was recording everything. So we weren't just blindly, you know, putting the same ingredients in again and, you know, oh, didn't we do that like 5 times ago? Or, you know, did we try that
Didn't
combination?
skim milk make it watery?
Exactly, you know.
So you were taking notes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Churn 2 was testing out a process for a new flavor, and I asked if I could watch.
Absolutely, let's get started. So we'll start with our ice cream base, and we precisely measure everything. So this is exactly at 2 cups. So we will add this in.
So if I were to take a sip of that right now, it would just taste like really kind of sweet cream? Sweet milk, yeah. Sweet milk? Okay.
Sweet milk. We'll add in our bowl. Go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn our mixing blades on. Start to add in all of this.
So you're dumping the liquid nitrogen right onto the base.
Right into it.
So the steam feels kind of, is it steam? Is it smoke? What is this that we're...
It's condensation. It's condensation, basically.
So now, with it at the texture that we're at now, the temperature, I guess you could say, we'll go ahead and we'll add in our chocolate.
What would happen if you put all the ingredients together before you added the liquid nitrogen?
Sometimes certain things need to be added in earlier on so that mixing and incorporation process happens at the right stage, because sometimes if it's cold already, it's gonna remain hard. So if it's a little bit warmer in temperature, sometimes that's gonna incorporate a little bit faster. So it all depends on what ingredients you're working with. And it's kind of like maybe the difference of, maybe if you think of a cookie, if you had, some people like to dunk their cookies and some people like to have their cookie and kind of follow that by drinking the milk. So it just depends on those textures, and obviously whenever you incorporate the two earlier on, it will kind of soften. So we'll add this in. So it's just a nice, well-made chocolate. We'll keep going with our shot here. Nice little crunch. So you can actually hear it in there, actually crunching itself up.
So you're putting more liquid nitrogen in now?
Right, yeah, now we're gonna complete the process. And that will actually turn off our mixing blades. I'll pull this out. And then you can actually see the ice cream has now been created.
I noticed that Churn 2 made much smaller batches than JP Licks. Why?
We tried to do larger batches, and we came to the point that we're using a lot of nitrogen, and it would get stuck on the mixing blade and just basically just go around the edges and not actually mix the ice cream. And we did the smaller batches, and it would just freeze too quickly. So we came up with the point of doing 16 ounces was like that sweet spot.
From revising their process, Churn 2 found the perfect amount of liquid nitrogen ice cream to make in each batch.
What are some things you would recommend for someone who was developing their own ice cream process?
Honestly, I would probably say it's really just creativity. One of the things that we ended up doing was making like an apple pie ice cream, and we literally took a slice of apple pie, chucked it into like apple pie a la mode. I mean, it was all in one, just wrapped up into every bite. I mean, we took devil dogs, we took, Oreos. I mean, we just chucked stuff in. We just kept chucking stuff in, fresh fruit. I mean, it's just experimentation, and
so just try something.
Try
and
something.
It might turn out to be
it might be
turn out
amazing.
to be the best thing you've ever
Yes, absolutely. It might be amazing, like really.
Of course, I couldn't leave Ash's shop without trying some of the nitrogen ice cream. And back at JP Licks, Vincent and Donald's traditional strawberry ice cream finished up, and I got to try that too. As with any engineering problem, there are always many different ways to meet your goal. Engineering a process for making ice cream is no different. Whether it's from a tried and true, but always improving process, or a newer process like using liquid nitrogen, I think we can all be grateful that the process to make ice cream exists.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed today's show and that you'll try some of these activities at home. We'll see you next time. See ya!